our camp, fall camp. Get ready for the fall camp. And then we stayed there till, the men's go trapping. Well, the women's too used to go trapping. And we stayed there till December. And in that cold weather, we have to come to town just for mostly church.
Yeah.
Christmas, celebration. And we stay here till after New Year, and then we go back to camp again.
Yeah. Now, with they showed me some pictures of, and I know a little bit about the stick dance and the potlatch. And have you seen that TV show on the potlatch?
Yeah.
That one that was done in Hughes?
Yeah.
That's really well done, I think. And then they had the mask dance that Romeo used to lead, in
well,
Nulato.
if anybody come here between Christmas and New Year, we have that. In here we have good singers. We have Franklin and Sebastian and Goodwin and Plask. I think this is the only place now they have, there's good singers for that. And every year we have that Harriet. So I don't know, as long as Franklin and those guys are living, we'll still have it. And after we're all gone, I don't know what
Are some of the younger men learning that?
Oh, it's hard to learn those songs. It's kind of hard for those young people to learn because they don't know how to speak our language, most of them. So I think that's all going to fade away, only by tape recorder.
Yeah, video.
So they try our very best to hold it here yet, right now, anyway. And the stick dance. It's between here and Nulato. So I don't know what's going to happen after we're all gone.
Yeah, Romeo said that I should talk with the Plasker, Nikolai.
Nikolai, yeah.
Because he said that he knows a good deal about this.
Yeah. And another one is Franklin Goodwin. The three of them put together. That's the three people you should talk to.
Okay.
You tell about my Plasker and your relation.
Yeah. My cousin. So we just never used to.
Not be here and not hardly at all.
Not be here. We didn't have that much education here because we just used to come here for maybe 2 months out of the winter we go to school. So I don't know how I have a job today.
Yeah. Now, is your name, is it Maryetta in one word? M-E-M-A-R?
Y. E-T-T-A.
Okay.
And Neglaska.
N-E-G?
L-A-S-K-A.
K-I.
A. Alaska, just like.
But it's N-E-G-L-A-S-K-I.
A. N-E-G-L-A-S-K-A.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right now there's lots of jobs for these people around here. And we didn't have hard time. I don't know how we used to get by.
Yeah. Well, I know Eliza Jones quite well, and she talks the same thing.
Really. If we have to live like that again, I guess it'll be good. But we didn't know we were getting into trouble when we got all this electricity, housing, water. We didn't even think about it. We just got into it. Now we have to pay bills.
Yeah, that's the rub.
But it's good. I like the running water and the lights. You don't have to work that much. It's right long walk. I need to know yet.
How? I couldn't even walk now.
Oh yeah.
Could I? But I want to go back to hospital no more. I'm through with hospital.
Darn right.
Yeah.
That's not a very good place to be, is it?
Yeah. 3 years hospital without time.
I couldn't
Oh,
fix
the
it.
woman, no.
His wife do better, he said.
Right.
I sure supported my wife. My wife, that's why I couldn't die with my wife. I don't care. No, don't go back to hospital. Lots of girls in hospital, all right.
Yeah, that's one of the good parts.
Well, that was not fun. I got so girls in Burbank. I could think of to be the song.
My dad had Alzheimer's disease the last couple of years, and he was pretty, out of it a lot. And so we finally had to put him in a nursing home because my mother just couldn't think he was violent. But he was in a wheelchair most of the time. But he sure had an eye for the nurses. I mean, he was always chasing them around in his wheelchair.
I guess it was like that.
Yeah.
Gee, no more art. I don't know. I see.
No, that's great.
I just can't wait to go for a ride in boat.
Yeah. Several people were going upriver from Nulato duck hunting yesterday. One guy came back with 20 ducks and 5 geese.
Oh, I don't want to. I don't want nobody to bring that much.
That's a
ducks
lot to
me.
clean.
That's too hard to clean. Oh, it's too hard. I could pluck about 3 and that's it.
I find it. Now I just skin them. I don't even try to pluck them. I just go ahead and get a sharp knife.
But me, I want to have the skin
Yeah. So it's nicer. But boy, that's a lot of work plucking
yeah,
out.
lots of work.
Particularly
Well,
a goose.
soon they head to water, huh?
Huh?
But they got her on the water that.
Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll be here tomorrow.
Well, maybe what I should do is if Anastasia thinks about it and is willing to find some of those pictures, that would be great.
Yeah.
It would. I just explain. I try to say
in pictures and you a book title think that they want some pictures from you. book I book Chile and they'll bring it back because you're gonna take picture of it, yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
And bring
It's
it
on
back.
it all that. They're not gonna keep it. Yes, it's gonna look. Like it camp all of the you have pictures or not? Just only in town, yeah. Yeah, she says she don't have no pictures of the camp, just only in this town. And the told you she's not going to take it, he told you, yeah? You book told Sheila Ranit. Yeah. When you're leaving?
Tomorrow night I'm scheduled.
Oh, okay.
But I can come back.
Yeah. Well, go your Kogono, not her also you get all shoes to her.
Where?
Huh?
Tomorrow morning you want to visit us again?
Yeah, tomorrow morning I'll visit you at 9 o'clock. I still got...
What visit?
Yeah, I'll visit you. Maybe I'll visit you tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my mom's neighbor moved.
Oh, and you have some of that medicine, what you put in his rectum? Eat that little pill, just like this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. And that, we would need that.
Good recording. I guess usually what's the first thing you can remember about Missouri? When the first time you met him, maybe, or
First time I started to remember him is, when I was a kid. And I really don't know what he did, that you're talking about something that he did in great things, or
well, just did he?
Those days, we had heck of a time trying to make a living.
Yeah.
I grew up, when time was tough,
Yep.
really.
How old are you now, Franklin?
64.
64. And so he was, what?
He's in the 70s, 74, I guess.
74? Yeah. And Anastasia, well, she wasn't sure how old she was. Was she?
She's about almost that age too.
Is she in her 70s?
Because I know when I started to remember them, they were pretty well grown-up people then, you know. And I started to remember quite a while back, you know.
Yeah.
I can talk about 1924 or something like that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So here we are in 1924.
Right.
So those were hard times, and was it trapping and?
Trapping, that's all there was. Trapping and fishing. It was good though that time, you know. You get dry fish, then dry 'em, then you could sell it to the stores.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I see happening those days was, well, the steamboats were running, and they burn wood instead of oil, you know. And that's the only thing that really provided any kind of labor in the village, is cutting wood. And even in fall time, people used to go out and do that.
Yep.
And that's part of the thing they did, you know. And, well, the school started here was in 1925. Then not everybody could stay in town and go to school.
Yeah.
They had to go out and take their families out till Christmas, and they come back again and stay for a while. Then they have to go out in the springtime again in March to spring camp. So that's the only way people survive, you know. It's really mostly off the country, you know. And well, you know, we get little stuff here in the store, but by this time, you know, you run out of practically everything.
Sure.
So we had to go to Nulato or Kaltag, you know, get flour and sugar and stuff, the most essential food that we use. And that's what they were doing. And that's how come we're so far behind in school too, you know. I was very fortunate though, you know, because my dad used to carry mail here, halfway down to the Cleveland up to Nulato. And he did that all winter long, so we never went out. And I had a better opportunity than the other kids.
To go to school.
Yeah.
Was it a Catholic school here?
No, it was a BIA school.
BIA school, yeah.
And then they had only 6th grade, you know, the highest grade they had. And well, I was 14 years old when I left school because, well, by that time my dad was getting too old, and he had to run 15 dogs, you know, and he couldn't handle that by himself. So I started helping him. Because I had an offer to go to school, but my mom wouldn't let me go, you know.
Needed you around.
They had to go to Eklutna, or there was another school down Holy Cross, you know. The Catholic mission had school there.
Yeah, I knew that.
Then my mother wouldn't let me. I wish she did, though. Then you have to leave by boat. The last boat going upriver, go down Eklutna by train.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting. You never see home all winter long. If then springtime you come back again. So it was really, really hard, and that's why I can't understand why students today are so far behind in education, you know. I really don't understand it, because when I went to school first, we had to have interpreter because we didn't know how to speak English. We had to have interpreter, and my uncle Alexei Pitka was the interpreter for us. We had one tank stove in the middle of one classroom, you know. One tank wood stove. It's cold in there, winter time. Stand around that stove. If the teacher would be reading, we don't know what the heck he's reading about.
Sure. Sure.
He really had a heck of a time, you know. That's why I always say I live in two societies, you know.
Sure.
Because I didn't learn too much of the Indian thing, and then another thing, I didn't learn too much of the white man stuff either.
Yeah.
So I'm just right in between. But I can talk about the two people, though.
Sure, that's the other part.
More than a lot of guys can say.
Did Missouri work on the steamboat at all?
He did, I think, during the war. See, during the war, I wasn't here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess he got everybody working on the boat. He did. Oh yeah, I remember him saying that he, you know, went to Ninana and went to work for the steamboat. You know, and I remember that. He's one of the guys that didn't go out to work too much. You know, he really believed in outdoor life, and he did a lot of trapping and fishing. And he's one of the guys that didn't go travel too much for work, you know.
He probably stayed home and lived the traditional
Yeah.
lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, like everybody else, him too, even though he was young and tough, you know, he had some bad times too, you know. We all had. Excuse me. Anyway, you know, I was pretty close friends with him all the time. Anyway, he's my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And we traveled about 6-7 miles from each other. We had camp, you know, and I used to go visit them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
My trapping camp is down here about 40 miles.
He said something about 45 miles. Up the Kaltag, I mean up the Kaltag River here,
I don't remember Silver's going up this river.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do remember that Chum goes up that.
Chum does, okay.
Yeah. But no, Silver's, I don't think they go up that way. They must go pretty far up the river.
Yeah, I know they get them in Galena.
Yeah. Oh, we get them out here on Yukon, all right, but I never know of any fish going up the river.
Ah, I got you. Yeah. Was it during the Christmas period when you had stick dance and did you also have a mask dance here?
We always did, you know. We still continue that one.
Mm-hmm.
And heck, I even got a hoop from Anchorage to make a drum right there.
Ah, I see.
No,
Yeah.
I never show it to the people. They don't know about it. Because I'm one of the singers anyway, you know. And, I look around for something like that. And I finally found one, but I never showed it to them. Maybe tomorrow night.
Uh-huh.
I gotta get my money back anyway. I paid for it.
Yeah. When I came down here, went out this morning, I noticed a pile of peeled poles over here.
Yeah,
Is that for fish wheel?
that's for fish wheel.
Fish wheel. I thought probably, yeah.
Yeah. You know, when I started to remember here in Kaltag, you know, my mother used to say I was one of the first that was born in Kaltag when they moved here.
Mm-hmm.
I got an older sister. She said she was born down there in the old village. But she told me that I was born here. And there was 4 of us, I remember, at the same birthday in the same year.
Huh.
So there must have been 4 of us. All of them died, you know, those other 3. And, but when I first started to remember, you see that bridge out there.
Mm-hmm.
There was no bridge there. There was logs, was water running, and I can remember myself wading in there, you know.
Yeah.
There's no chance of cutting your feet because there's no that much cancer bottles around.
No.
No.
No, not that time. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was an interesting thing, frankly. We lived on Guam for 4 years, an island way out in the Pacific.
Yeah.
And a lot of people still live a pretty traditional lifestyle there too.
Yeah.
And in the old days, they had coconuts and breadfruit, and when they got through with the coconut, they just threw it away, and the animals ate it, or something else happened. And so it was sort of a way of life.
Yeah.
And as you say, there were no cans or bottles around then either, you know, because it was the same.
Yeah, there were only a few houses, you know,
Uh-huh.
out in front. The church has a drawing of 1937. At that time we had a lot of snow too, you know. There was something else I was going to say now, I forget about it. Yeah, well,
Was
gee, it's really hard for me to start talking about Missouri, but that's the way we grew up and lived together.
Hmm. How did he get his name? Do you know how he got his name?
Oh, yeah. This, this, his real name is Cyprian.
Cyprian.
Yeah. And when the first year that school started, the teacher gave them the state's name, like Kentucky and Arizona, Colorado, and you know, he gave them that name. I guess because
Couldn't say the name.
they couldn't say their name, you know, and he stuck. Missouri stuck with him, and another guy in Nulato, Kentucky. Kentucky stuck with him too, and his real name is Lawrence. Those two stuck, you know.
The rest didn't, yeah.
The rest didn't. I guess the Colorado or Arizona, you know, it's a little hard.
Yeah.
You could say Missouri and Kentucky real fast.
Yeah, right. That's neat.
So that's the way he got his name. Now, Lisa, her too, she had a state name. So it's my sister, my brother, but
It didn't stay.
they're all gone. They don't remember.
You know, I thought probably that's the way it happened.
Yeah.
In Micronesia, a lot of kids would have names like battery acid
Mm-hmm.
because it'd be a box and it would say battery acid on it, and it was an English name,
Yeah.
and so they started taking names off boxes. And so they have all different kinds of names, like
Yeah.
Crisco.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the cans of Crisco?
Yeah.
Kids would be called Crisco and battery acid, and they just took them off the boxes.
Yeah.
So that's a similar kind of thing. The teacher named them by state.
Like a teacher was telling me one time, he says, you know, long time ago they didn't use that word junior, you know. So this John had a son, and instead of John Jr., you call him Johnson. That's
Okay.
the way you put it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I understand. That's where that name came from. Yeah. Now, I noticed on the wall in Missouri's home that he has a honorable discharge from the Alaska Scouts
Territorial Guard.
Territorial Guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
That they got that during the war. You know, World War II.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they were here at home with the Joint National Guard. I mean,
Okay.
Alaska
Alaska
Territorial Guard.
I gotcha. Okay.
A lot of the guys, they never use that ATJ on there.
Mhm.
ATG.
Mhm.
They don't use that badge because somebody will come along and tell them a joke with him that that means Alaska tough guy.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, there was nothing came about. There was no job. We had the hardest time up until President Roosevelt was elected.
Mhm.
You know, during Hoover days, we really had it. You know, and I guess for that reason, I didn't have no use for Republicans.
Right.
You know?
Right. Well, most of us still don't.
Yeah. And doggone, you know, I remember there was only one radio. Only the storekeeper had radio.
Mhm.
Election night. Well, I was a kid. I was 12, maybe 14 years old then. But I began to understand English too.
Mhm.
And I used to hear them playing that Happy Days Are Here Again.
Yeah.
Well, he was the only one that was elected 3 terms, yeah?
Yep.
Right. You know, when he died, I was on a troop train, and the train stopped at Denver, Colorado, with that headline, you know, newspaper was free, they was pass it in the troop train. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really miss that guy.
It's a sad day
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of people.
I'll show you something, because I like him that much.
Boy.
I got the, I don't know, some way they sent me an address, you know, from Washington last fall. And I could get that message, 4 of those, you know. They sold it to me for $25.
That's yeah.
Yeah, then when I went on Wisconsin, Green Bay, Wisconsin last fall, I had the Indian jewelry for this one.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He charged me $65, you know, but I didn't mind,
That's cheap.
you know. And,
Nice.
I
Yeah.
really liked it.
That's nice. Makes a great tie.
Oh yeah, it really does. You know, I hardly use it because.
Something else.
Yeah, I really. You know, because I was. Well, not because his name is Franklin either.
No, right. That may be part of it.
Yeah. That was an interesting year. Yeah, he started. The first project he started here in town was 25 cents an hour. What they call CCC. There were 3 C's now. I didn't know what it.
The Civilian Conservation Corps.
That's what it is. Yeah, Civilian Conservation. Conservation
Yeah.
Corps.
Yeah.
That's the first thing he started here in town. And, well, we had a teacher here. He was trying to help us along, trying to get a job in 1938. That first job I got onto was the last railroad. He had written to the last railroad, you know, office in Nenana, that he had so many men here available for work. So they took us on the boat, on the steamboat, and
Took you up to Nulato.
they took us to Fairbanks and they took our physical there. Then sent us back to Nenana and went to work there that summer. Well, in 1939 and 40, I worked on the boat too, you know, on the steamer Nenana. That's the one that's sitting up there in
Yeah, in the
Alaska
Alaska
land.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked on that boat all right. It was burning wood those days.
Hmm.
But in 1941, that's the year they started that Galena project. And we unloaded the equipment they call West Ruby,
Mm-hmm.
that's below Galena. That's where they were going to have the Air Force base.
Oh, okay.
But it's too swampy, they couldn't get back on that hill, you know, they tried to get to. So from there they moved to Galena.
I'll be there.
Then we have to move that equipment again.
Yeah, okay.
It was really something, all right.
Was there ever any gold, big gold influx in this area in Kaltag? Was that Cock Ranch where that happened, or was there any right in this interior?
I don't remember of any. The closest one is over here, the Anaconda.
Okay.
You know where it is?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the closest one I remember.
Okay.
Because they had some miners up there. They say there's gold up there in Caillou, all right, you know. And there's guys mining up there too.
Yeah, but no big influx of. Yeah. Well, this has been helpful, Franklin, because it gives me a perspective of I kind of felt this was the thing that Missouri lived, but I
Yeah.
wasn't sure, and this has been really helpful to me to get this information, and I'm going to be talking to Goodwin too. He said he'd talk with me.
He used to tell me a lot of things that happened to him, you know. Like one time they were out, you know, a long time ago we used to shoot beaver in springtime.
Mm-hmm.
So him and his dad were out on that Stink Creek down here. We call it Stink Creek, you know, 30
Okay.
miles down
Just down south.
here. Yeah. They were out there and they got some beaver. They got a lot of beaver. So they made a raft. They were going to drift down to the mouth and down the Yukon to their camp. That was their intent, you know. And they made the raft all right, and they got on it, you know. But they make the raft too tight, you know, like this.
Mm-hmm.
The blocks too close together. So when the water got on there, it don't run off fast enough, and it just tipped over with them.
Oh boy.
And they lost everything, I guess.
Lost the
Guns.
beaver.
But you know what the smartest thing that old man did was they had harness too, you know. And the harness got snapped, and he snapped that snap onto another rifle. That was a pretty wise thing.
Uh-huh.
And that's the only rifle they saved.
Now, was this Missouri and his father?
Missouri and his father.
What was his
See?
father's name? Remember?
I don't know. You know, in Missouri, Stanley. I don't know his